Hi, welcome back to Your Story's Not Over. You're Still Writing It. This is your host, Erin. And tonight again, I have my friend Lindsay. And Lindsay and I were just discussing how forgiveness is for yourself more so than the other person. But let's touch base on that. Lindsay, what's your first question about that?
So, I guess I would, I've been wanting to know. I mean, forgiveness is the key, but how can you forgive someone that's done you wrong so many times?
Well, first question I would have to ask about that is there's different levels of wrong. So you have to question, is it a wrong bad enough that you no longer want this person in your life, like at all, like cut to the core wrong? Or is it a wrong that you are wanting to forgive them so that you can move forward? That being said, that question being asked, either way, if you do not forgive them just for the simple fact that forgiveness is the right thing to do, and because if you don't forgive them, you carry the animosity, you carry the anger. If you don't want them in your life and you don't forgive them, and 3 years later, you meet up and they're living their best life and forgot all about whatever fight or happened, but you're still mad about it, who carried that for 3 years and who did not?
I guess that's right because, I mean, I got learning to forgive not only the other person, but myself as well.
Absolutely. We're all human. Nobody's perfect. And like I said, not only do you need to forgive yourself, not only do you need to forgive them, you have to really sit back and analyze the whole situation. A lot of times in life, people forget to do that. A lot of times in life, we get caught up on the reasons we're mad, and we don't sit back and really put ourselves in another person's shoes, show true empathy and grace as we would want them to do us, and really stop and think about it. Okay, this person wronged me. What is the real reason? What is the real behind this? Well, and then you have to sit back with that and you go, okay, so it didn't work this time because of da 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 for this reason in this manner. What is a way that I can forgive them? And maybe they can also learn to forgive me, because forgiveness has to be both ways if you're going to be back in each other's lives, right? So you have to sit back and really analyze where you're going with it. Either way, whether they're in your life again in the future or you never see them again, either way, it has to be forgiveness for your own heart. Forgiving yourself because you are a human, forgiving them because they are a human, and so that your soul can have peace.
Well, I need to learn how to forgive. That's one of my weaknesses, I guess.
Well, I've talked to you before in the past, whenever we were just talking about life, about writing down the things that cause your anger, cause your pain or your trauma, and then turning around and writing a positive. You can do that for forgiveness too. You can write down the things someone did to hurt you in life that you want to forgive. And you write them down. Everything they did to hurt you. And then you turn around and on that same piece of paper, you analyze. And you analyze the amount of real pain involved in it on both halves. You analyze the real situation going on both halves. And you try to put something positive that you learned through the growth. Because as we discussed before, growth and lessons, they tend to hurt. Yeah. So if you can learn what you were supposed to learn through the pain, that's when you become a victor. That's when things get beautiful for you in life and you start getting somewhere. So yes, you're going to have to forgive them. You're going to have to forgive yourself. And you might even have to get technical enough to break it down to learn how to do it.
That is very difficult to do, to forgive.
Oh, yes, it is. Let me tell you. So I adopted a child very young and I raised her. She was only 10 years younger than me. And I was very young, very immature. And I had a lot of anger and animosity in me. You do in your 20s. And her bio mom hurt her. I ended up hurting her too in different ways with anger. And so I couldn't stand this woman. One of those, you hurt my kids kind of thing. As I got older, I started looking at this woman's whole situation. I started changing my mindset about the situation. And I started learning that forgiveness for her and being able to say, I'm glad I was able to step in so that she could figure out and straighten out her life. She's
Yeah.
not a bad person. She made some mistakes. She meant well. And forgive. And when I really felt that, when I knew it was real, when I ran into her at a parking lot and didn't have that mama bear feeling, but I had the feeling I just described.
Mm-hmm.
So forgiveness lightens your heart, because if I would have still had that feeling, when I saw her at the gas station, my blood pressure would have skyrocketed. I would have got that, "Argh!" and there's no reason to have to feel that in life. So that's where the peace comes in when you learn to forgive.
Maybe I should learn to forgive. Not forget, though.
No, you don't have to forget. That's the kicker. But the problem with being back in someone's life after they hurt you and have forgiveness and not forget, that's where the tricky balance comes in. You don't forget it. But you know what you do? You learn anew. You learn anew. And you eventually get to a point, if you can work things out with someone, that you can look back on it and say, I'm grateful for the times that were not as good, because they created the times that are good now.
That's true. That's true.
But if you don't forgive, you're never going to be able to see the good in the bad.
Yeah, I have to forgive not only that person, but myself as well.
Absolutely. You are number one. That is why your story's not over. You're still writing it. It's all power within you. Every bit of it. Well, Lindsay, I want to say thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.
Everybody, you're amazing. Make your day freaking amazing. And thank you for listening. We'll talk to you again shortly on Your Story's Not Over. You're Still Writing It.